Okay, so you've got pain deep in your glute somewhere up here in the butt muscle. And the problem is a lot of people try to use foam rollers to work on that if they, if they don't have access to a massage therapist or whatnot. The problem is with a foam roller, typically you're sitting on the floor and you really can't get at the right angle to really get in there. So a lot of times what you'll have is really deep muscle adhesion. So what's happening is the muscles, which should be lined up more like this, are all gnarled up and there's no blood flow going to that spot. And a lot of times when it's really bad, it is super difficult to work that knot out unless you have somebody who's really experienced in sport massage. So what I like to do is I use either a lacrosse ball, or I'll use, this thing is called an orb. You can get them at Dick's or on Amazon for like 19 bucks. Either way, these do, because of the diameter of them, you can get really point specific spots deep in your muscle. So the key is, you can do it on the floor, but I recommend using a table or like a high stool, something that's about hip height or just under hip height. So what you want to do, I'm going to use the lacrosse ball since this is probably the easiest thing for most people to get. A tennis ball you could use as well. It's not going to get quite, you're going to have to work a little bit harder to get the right amount of pressure. So what you do is, let's say it's right deep in my glute muscle here. So I'm going to get this on the table and I'll use the corner of the table and I'll just slowly increase the pressure, right? You can probably see it a little bit better like that, right? So I'll use my body position and angle to get the right pressure, and you'll know when you hit it because it's going to bark at you. So let's pretend I'm on it right there. So I found the spot. It's kind of making me gasp a little bit. I'm gonna lean into that a little bit, increase the pressure, but not too much. You don't want to be tense everywhere because you're in so much pain. But it's going to be painful. So you find that spot and you just rest on it for about 10 seconds. Then it's really important to do what I call cross-grain massage. So your leg muscles generally are going up and down. So I'm going to go back and forth across it. And you may feel it rocking underneath like there's a pebble or something in there. And you're just going to work, like I can feel something in there right now. I'm going right back and forth across it. I'm kind of making circles around it. You just really pretend it's a massage therapist and they're just getting all over the spot. And you just do that for about 30-40 seconds. Give yourself a break. So here I'm using the orb, so it's a little easier to see. But you can see I'm kind of basically right now I'm putting all my body weight on it. Like if I've got a really deep, painful one, and I'm just gonna rock it back and forth. You can move it up and down the muscle, back and forth. Go all the directions. Again, just trying to get in there and get cross-grain. Maybe do the other side a little bit. You gotta come back to it 3 or 4 times if you really wanna get at it. If you're injured, you're probably going to want to do this twice a day. The key to this is that what it's doing is it's getting so hard onto that knotty spot that it's breaking up that muscle adhesion, allowing blood flow back in. So that's why it's so difficult to do it with things like foam rollers or just using like your hand. Something like this, it's hard and it creates a lot of pressure. And that's what you want to do. So the other thing I would recommend, lots of water when you do that. Do it twice a day. Use some Advil or turmeric if you want to do some anti-inflammatory, and just keep after it for a few days. Really important to stretch it out afterwards. So just keep at it like it's physical therapy that you can do right in your own home with a $3 lacrosse ball. Thanks.